Okay, it's official now. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Like I said yesterday, I'm not going to hide the fact. Al Golden has now officially been hired as the new defensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals. Before I jump into anything, like always, don't forget to subscribe. The number is going down a little bit. 96.5. Looking at you guys. I think it was about 96.9 yesterday. So it's going down. I just want to thank you guys so much for continuing to hit that subscribe button, for liking the videos, for commenting. Please comment questions you have for me. If you disagree with the take that I make in the episode, please comment. I love talking back and forth with you guys. But anyways, let's jump right into it. Here we go. This is why it's officially official. Is because this is the Cincinnati Bengals official account posting. Our guy, Al Golden, has been hired as our defensive coordinator. There we go. It is officially official coming from the Cincinnati Bengals themselves. I couldn't be more excited for this hire. I think this is, in hindsight, the right hire. Just if you are new to this channel, just to give you a breakdown of who Al Golden is. He was the former Cincinnati Bengals linebacker coach in 2020 and 2021. He then left to go be the defensive coordinator at Notre Dame from 2022 to 2024, this past season. And in those seasons, in 2022, he started out with his total defense being ranked 21st at the end of the season. And then in his second season, it went from 21st all the way to 5th in total defense. And then his last season as the Notre Dame defensive coordinator this season, after losing 4 of his starters on defense, they finished 9th total defense. And in that season, 2024, his Notre Dame team, his defense on Notre Dame team, led them all the way to the national title game. They didn't end up winning the game. Ohio State beat them in the national title. But his defense was pretty much the main reason why Notre Dame was in that national title. They leaned on their defense heavily because Al Golden, our new defensive coordinator, knows exactly what he's doing. To even prove that point, like I said yesterday, Ohio State team is stacked with NFL talent. They have 5 stars all over the team. 15 5-stars compared to Notre Dame's 1 5-star player. Notre Dame is a college built usually around 3 or 4 stars modern time. That's probably going to change, but this isn't a college football podcast. Ohio State is built upon 5 stars. So the fact that even was a game, and Al Golden was the reason it was a game late. At one point in the game, it was 31-7. They were down. Notre Dame was down 24 points. They fought back up and made it an 8-point game. 8-point game. Why was that? Because Al Golden's defenses were forcing 3-and-outs and even forcing a turnover to allow Notre Dame's offense to bring it back into a one-score game. Obviously, Ohio State went down because of an Al Golden questionable play call. Ohio State went down to the red zone, eventually kicked the field goal, essentially ending the game. I'll talk about that in a little bit to address. Actually, I'll talk about it now. A lot of people are addressing this hire as bad because of his performance against Ohio State. But once again, Ohio State, especially their offense, is built on players who would start in the NFL right now. 100%. Notre Dame's defense has 1 5-star. There's a couple of guys that could start. Maybe 1 or 2 guys that could start on NFL rosters right now. So one, realistically, it shouldn't have even been a game. And yes, Ohio State's offense pretty much moved on Notre Dame's defense the first half in whatever way they wanted. But then Al Golden stepped up, made some adjustments, and I enjoyed watching the adjustments. Even as an Ohio State fan, I was watching as a Bengal fan as well, seeing what he would do. And he made the right adjustments, kept his defense playing aggressive. Usually when you're down 24 points, your players kind of give up. But because of Al Golden, he kept his players playing aggressive, which forced the turnover, forced 3-and-outs, and then allowed Notre Dame to come back into the game. And then the questionable call, it was 3rd and 11. He sent basically a full-out blitz on man coverage. And a lot of people know, if you don't know, go check out Ohio State's wide receiver, Jeremiah Smith. He's a true freshman this year, but he's probably, when he goes into the draft in 2 years, he will be the number 1 overall pick because he's that good. And he left him one-on-one, and Ohio State just threw it up, and Jeremiah Smith caught it and essentially ended the game. But what you don't realize, and why I understand I would have probably sent not a full-out blitz. He blitzed 7 players. I would have blitzed 6 and have a safety over top of Jeremiah Smith. But if you have 7 guys blitzing, as a coach, you are trusting your 7 players for at least one of them to get pressure on the QB. In that moment, you're kind of just hoping that at least somebody gets a free rush, gets in the face of the quarterback, in this instance, Will Howard, and that because of the pressure, he throws just a duck or something that is incomplete or eventually picked. That's why you're blitzing 7 people. You're trying to make the quarterback make a mistake. Will Howard, quarterback for Ohio State, didn't make a mistake. He hit Jeremiah Smith pretty much wide open. And Leonard Moore, the cornerback that was guarding Jeremiah Smith, wasn't in completely bad coverage. It was a great pass and a great route. He was there just a little bit too far out. So, I mean, it wasn't the greatest play call, no, but I also see and understand why. That's just that about the Ohio State game. Also, don't base one game off of how you feel about this hire. I think this is a great hire. I think this is a hire that was set in motion 3 years ago when he left for Notre Dame. I think Zach Taylor's probably told Al, hey, if you ever want to come back as DC, if something doesn't work out with Lou and he's gone, it's your job. And I think that was set in motion years ago. I think as soon as Lou was fired, Zach Taylor knew exactly who he was going to go after, and that was Al Golden. But anyways, there's a couple reports. Al Golden has come out and said a few things about Cincinnati that I just want to go over. Here we go. Al defines top job of a defense as he takes on Bengals defensive coordinator role. So since the Bengals posted a video of him, it was about a 6-second video. I'm assuming that's kind of teasing a long interview that will be posted eventually, and then we'll go over that obviously. But this is what he said regarding that. Our number one job is to support our quarterback. So our new defensive coordinator, this is what he thinks his top job is. Our number one job is to support our quarterback, Joe Burrow, obviously. And people are like, what does that mean as a defensive coordinator? Basically saying, if you hear your defense coordinator saying our number one job is to support the quarterback, you're like, what the heck? Why would you care? You're the defense coordinator. This is what he says. We got to get him the ball. So basically what he's saying is his main job is to make sure that Joe Burrow, like my commentator said, the best quarterback in the NFL, has the ball as much as possible. His job and what he's looking at for the Bengals is to make sure that they get off the field. He doesn't want to see his defense on the field. He wants to make sure that Joe Burrow has the most opportunities to go score as possible. That's his number one job, and I think that's exactly what his job should be. Notre Dame's defense was aggressive. Listen to this. This season, Notre Dame was first in defensive touchdowns with 6, being ball hawks in the passing game and turning them into pick sixes or scoop and score. They're also tied for first in blocked kicks. Blocked kicks. Even when their defense allows an attempt of a field goal or maybe even a 3-and-out, they're still aggressive on every single play. They block kicks and they block punts. A lot. His defenses do that. They were also first in turnovers. Before the national championship game, they were first with 32. After the national championship game, they were first in turnovers with 33. His defenses are aggressive, and I think that's exactly what the Cincinnati's defense going forward is going to be. An aggressive defense that is going to go after the ball. They want to make sure that they're using every play, every chance they get to disrupt the opposing team's offense. If that's pick sixes, if that's picks, if that's scoop and scores, if that's forced fumbles, if that's blocked kicks. No matter what, they're going to do whatever they can every single play to make sure they're putting pressure on the opposing team, and that's what Al Golden wants to do. And because of that, that gives Joe Burrow more times to go succeed with his offense and score points. That's Al Golden's number one job, and I couldn't agree more. And then there was another report. We'll build that together. Al Golden discusses possible scheme changes to the Bengals defense. And a lot of people were asking, are you going to change the scheme a lot, or are you going to keep the same basic scheme? Basically, on the lines, he said the main base of the defense will be a 4-2 defense with a nickel, like Lou was running, but he will also incorporate a 4-3 defense that Lou rarely did. This is the quote that he was talking about it. At the end of the day, I have to be comfortable with it. So this is him discussing the defensive scheme for the Bengals going forward. At the end of the day, I have to be comfortable with it. So he has to be comfortable with the scheme, obviously, and the defensive staff has to be comfortable with it, obviously. will build that together. So him and the defensive staff and the players will all build that scheme together. If there's no reason to change the way the kids can understand it, there's no ego. There's no reason to change it just to change it. So Al Golden, he's not just going to come in and change the defense just because he wants to. He's going to make the adjustments that make sense for the team. He's not just going to bring his generic scheme that he had at Notre Dame, not generic, but his scheme that he had at Notre Dame, and place it into the Cincinnati Bengals. He's going to do what makes the most sense for his personnel. As a defense coordinator, you have to look at the players that you currently have. Al Golden, he shouldn't be looking at he should be looking at free agents in the draft and who he wants to add to the team to approve it. But right now, he has to look at the players he has. He has to utilize the players that he has now on the roster to become the most effective defense that they can become. And that's exactly what he is going to do. He's going to do whatever he has. He's going to do whatever he can with what he has. He has a lot of veterans on his team. He has our defense. He has a lot of veterans on his defense. He has a lot of rookies and first-year guys or second-year guys and just younger guys in general on his defense. He can utilize each and every single one of their skill sets to form a different type of scheme that makes sense for the Bengals. Yes, that base will be a 4-2 defense, but he's going to add adjustments to make sense for the personnel. And I think that's exactly, yes, that is coach talk, as people say in interviews. They just say what the media wants to say. But Al Golden, he knows exactly what he's doing. In 1 year, being at Notre Dame, he went from the 21 total defense to the 5th total defense. He knows what he's doing. And the Notre Dame, like I said, doesn't have a lot of 5-star players on that defense. And even though they don't have a lot of 5-stars in that defense, he uses and utilizes the players to the best of their ability. And it works. They went from outside of the top 20 to the top 5 with the same players, because Al Golden knows how to utilize his players to the best of their ability. And I think that's exactly what he's going to do in Cincinnati. I think he needs to address the players that are on the roster now and utilize them to the best of their ability. And he has to sit down with a lot of the veterans saying, you guys got to lead this group. You guys got to step up. He's got to go to guys like Cam Taylor-Britt. Hey, you got to step up. He had a down year this year. You got to step up. You got to be one of those leaders in the locker room. And I think that's Al Golden. That's what he's going to do. He already has relationships with the players. He's been there. He's done it. He's the guy that developed Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt. He's going to look to those guys to be leaders in the locker room. He's going to look to Trey Hendrickson to be a leader in the locker room. He's going to look at Sam Hubbard to be a leader in the locker room. He's going to look at Geno Stone and Von Bell to be leaders in the locker room, to get his defensive players to rally around him and help them utilize their talents to the best of their ability. And I think with that and how Al Golden coaches and how good of a teacher he is, I think Cincinnati's defense improved drastically in year 1 with Al Golden. I love this hire. I think it was the best hire. It might not have been, according to some Bengals fans, not the splashiest hire, but I think it's the best hire for the personnel and for the organization. But hopefully his front office gives them some help. Hopefully we go add some guys in free agency, go get some guys in the draft to help Al Golden's defense shape into form of what Golden wants, but that still is yet to be seen. But once again, I like the hire. Let me know in the comments on what you think about the hire, if you think Golden is the right hire. Obviously, we've had a lot of videos talking about him. This is my final video on his hire. There will be things down the road. Obviously, we would talk about Golden down the road with when the season comes around, when OTAs start happening, seeing the defense that he's doing. But yeah, this is the last video about his hire because now it is officially official that he is the Bengals defensive coordinator. Before I go, I want to show you again. Please go subscribe. 96% of you guys are not subscribed that are watching right now. Just do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 200. Yesterday we were at 100. We're almost at 200, and we're on the road to 500. So please help us out. Go get to 500. I want to build a community of Houday Nation, Bengals fans. And I want to talk to you guys about Bengals and everything Bengals. So please comment down on what you think about Golden, or if you just have any questions in general. Don't forget to like this video. Once again, subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel for all your trades, rumors, updates, everything going on in Cincinnati. I will be talking about it, and also be prepared. I will be posting another video later tonight talking about 2 potential Notre Dame defensive players that might be making their way to Cincinnati in the draft. But be on the lookout for that video. I'll see you next time. Peace out.